This I Stand With Vic video is going to be a little different. Instead of going off on a tirade that I normally do these videos as with, we'll be listening to a song he recently released on his new album. The song in question is entitled "Hurt People." Think of this as Vic finally putting together or letting out 6.5 years of frustration and wanting to ask to the people who have been basically bullying him, keeping him out of conventions, calling him a pedophile, that sort of shit, and basically accusing him of crimes he's never committed, why they are doing this, and what do they get out of it? And by basically flat out ruining his career or basically ruining the reputations of other people who associate with or are like him. Or at least that's how best I can interpret it. But here it is from his Up There, Down Here album.
Killing my light won't make your light shine any brighter. Weighing me down won't make your burdens one bit lighter. Cut me apart won't add 1 inch to your life growing. Your glass house would not survive all the rots you're throwing. The story's better when you spin it. Anything to be seen for a minute. This is based right out of the box, and yes, I stopped at about 50 seconds in. For those wondering the length of this song, it's 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Vic is calling out and telling those who basically have been slandering him for the last 6.5 years that you're not doing yourself any fucking favors. I know Vic would never say an F bomb, but that's me inserting it, not him. By basically spinning these lies about him or anyone who opts to associate with him. And you're only ruining your own reputations by doing that. By continuing this self destructive and self indulgent path. I used to wonder why they do it. I used to wonder. I used to wonder why they do it. I don't wonder anymore. Before I get to the chorus point, this is the part where I am a little miffed at Vic. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, gee, Vic, it took you almost 6.5 years to figure out that these people never had your best interests in mind. I mean, I will be honest, as much as I don't want to say this about Vic, but it is something I have to get off my chest with the guy. And no, it's not that I'm agreeing with the people who say the crap they say about him. For me, Vic's biggest character flaws are his blind faith in people, his overly optimistic nature towards said individual, and trusting optimism towards those people, and his gullibility. In other words, his lack of discernment is probably his biggest character flaw. And this is a constructive criticism of the guy from me, not a. And I know that a lot of the Kick Vic trolls are waiting to pounce to spin on this, saying that I turned against him. Not the case. I'm just pointing out what I view to be Vic's biggest flaws as a person. I never turn against the guy.
also a good question. Why haven't these individuals turned their destructive tendencies to something more constructive, i.e., going after the actual pedos, bothering to investigate Crunchyroll instead of covering their tracks? Why haven't you done it, Kalen? Oh wait, I know why. You want to be part of the in crowd. And another video I'm going to do later today, that another music, another song that hit the waves recently that's not related to Vic, called Unpopular, which basically calls out the hypocrisy of the myth of popularity. For those wondering, one was done by Skillet. And it's going to be part of their new album Revolution, which will hits digital airwaves at the start of November, and then hit physical shelves around the time the holidays kick in, if not around the time of the holidays, if not shortly thereafter, a couple of months thereafter the holiday season. That basically says, fuck that, in as blunt terms as I can. Keep in mind, Skillet is a Christian band, so they never say this. But it basically states, fuck popularity.
Why do you talk and act like you do? Throwing your shade right in the high from the mess you made. Don't give a thought to the damage you do until that damage is done to you.
Another point only against those who have done this to Vic. They don't give a damn about the collateral damage they've caused, and they run from trying to clean up the mess. In other words, they're self-serving political people pleasers, more willing to sweep the mess they've made under the rug, instead of bothering to legitimately clean it up.
What matters most is how many people liked my post.
And that's probably the worst thing about this. Mars Girl did it for clicks, for likes. But the other thing that I would also want to point out is she suffers from alethophobia, actithiophobia, and and agoraphobia, and ashagoraphobia, and athazagoraphobia. The fears of the truth or facts that contradict one's viewpoint, failure, and the fear of being forgotten and ignored, respectively. And there's the song, all in a nutshell. And that's the song in a nutshell. It's basically asking, why do these trolls go out of their way to cause such collateral damage to people? It's because they get kicks out of it. I mean, you could say the same thing about me, about how I went after Montreal, Chris Savage, Amy Markey, Mars Girl, and anyone who slandered Vic. But in my case, I was doing it to try to defend him. Vic didn't, and while Vic understood the intent, I went about it the wrong way. But at least I understand I went about it the wrong way. These individuals have no regard for it. And all because these individuals are afraid of being forgotten or flat out ignored. Anyway, sorry if I went a little too overboard and got off topic and broke the promise. But that said, and I was trying to do that more from the analytical perspective of of what I believe this song was trying to get across. And I think I did just that. Comment, like, and subscribe. I'll be back later to react to Skillet's Unpopular. Goodbye and good fucking night. Bang.